Oh man,
inducted into this Hall of Fame?
it's historical, man. It's like this is where I won my first world title. You know what I'm saying? In 1986, and to come here and be inducted again too, it's amazing. I'm surprised, just like I was before, and it's always a pleasure because Las Vegas was like my second home. And I lived here for 4.5 years. My kids grew up here a little bit too, and Vegas was just something special.
Yeah, and you're a man of great power, right? A good punch.
Yeah.
You're a heavy. Your hand is.
Yeah, I believe I was born with that.
Yeah.
And my coach back then basically taught me how to improve on it.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we ask boxers. If you are born with a punch or you develop it
Right.
in the gym.
Right.
Maybe it's a combination of
You
both?
can develop power, but it's also important to understand that sometimes some fighters just have the natural ability to punch hard, and if you develop that, it makes it even more, amazing.
Yeah.
More powerful. And that's what happened with me. My trainer told me as a youngster, he said, you don't have to try to hit hard. All you got to do is throw the punch because you hit naturally hard already. So just throw the punch. And I realized that, and using my technique, using my, my ability, I think, and increasing that made my punches even more effective.
Yeah. And I've seen the spirit of the fighters that come here and get together after so many years. That this brotherhood that we can feel here,
Right.
this brother energy.
Yes.
How is it different from the years of boxing until now? I mean, does that brotherhood exist when you fight each other, or is it different now that after years you come back and?
No, I think that boxers are, athletes, in general as well, but fighters have a special, I think, what should I call it? Attachment or attraction. We go into the ring and we try to knock each other's head off, but after that, we want to hug. We just want to, congratulate the opponent. I think there's something special about boxers. There's something special about us. And it's always good for me, especially me, to be able to let my opponent know that, man, I appreciate you. I love you.
Yeah.
I would love to become a friend.
Yeah.
And most of my opponents, we are friends. Mm-hmm. Take, for instance, I knocked out Harold Graham, but I'm going next month, to do a fundraising for him in the UK. Why? Because it's the love, it's the heart, as an athlete, fighting against a next athlete that has tremendous talent.
Yeah.
And somehow it works out.
Yeah, because sometimes you fight friends. I mean, not
right.
Not you don't become friends after,
No,
but from before.
From before.
Maybe you find somebody that you're maybe training in the same gym.
Right.
That happens.
That happens.
I don't know if there's like mixed feeling of fighting a
friend. Right. But I tell you what, I remember I fought a spar mate as well. Somebody who was a spar mate, and we were good friends. And but because of the business, what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We put the friend, not really putting it on the shelf, but we put it to the side where we know that, look, this is business now.
Yeah.
And after the business, then we become friends again.
There's like, let's say 3 stages in boxing: amateur, professional, and the afterlife, to call it somehow. How different is it boxing when you're an amateur? Mm-hmm. Then you turn pro. There's different motivations,
right.
different feelings, different attitudes to the sport.
Right.
How does that differ in your mind, in your heart?
I love that. That's a tremendous question. I tell you what, as an amateur, you know, it's how you think. It's how you know, your environment, how your thought at home. You know, it has a lot to do with your parents. It has a lot to do with your being brought up. You know what I mean? As a young person, and what's in your heart. You know what I'm saying? And you can only, I believe, express what's really inside of a person. You know, that's what comes out.
Yes.
You know, and if you are angry inside, that's what's going to come out. But if you have peace, if you have love, that's what's going to also come out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I believe that it follows your career. It follows you. I believe, you know, the love that I have for my fellow men, for my fellow athletes, you know, it shows a lot in my attitude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The way I speak, the way I talk, the way I greet you. And it's just me. You know, I just can't be anybody else but, you know, that.
Right. Yeah, because as amateurs, you fight for the,
Right.
let's say, the right reason, for pride, for
Right.
your heart, for your team,
For your country,
family.
right?
Then it becomes a business.
Right.
You still have those, you know, the honor,
Right.
but it changes a little bit, right?
Sometimes. And I think it has a lot to do with, again, you know, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
Yeah.
If you think I'm your enemy, you're going to act like that. But if you think, you know, I'm just, you know, you're the one that you're going to be, you know, actually fighting, and, you know, I'm going to take it serious now because this is what we do, you know, and we are friends, you know, but still, you know, I've got to go out there and I'm going to show my style and you're going to show your style and we're going to match our styles together and the best man wins.
Yeah.
You know? And after that, you know, I tell you what, I felt that there were times when an athlete was driven to the point where especially in the weigh-ins, he start talking and it gets out of, you know, place. It gets a little too rowdy, and I tend to shut down, and I tend to just focus on what I've got to do, because if he's going to allow himself, you know what I'm saying, to go that route, I'm not going to go with him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to stay focused, and when I do that and I go into the ring, okay, I realize that I always have the upper hand.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, that this happens a lot in press conferences, weigh-ins.
Right.
I don't know if a boxer thinks, because that's what the fans want.
Right.
You know, they want.
Oh yeah.
They want the fight before the fight.
Right. They want the hype. They want the hype. You know, and it has to do with the hype of the fight as well.
Yeah.
You know how the card has been, you know, built up, and sometimes the fighters get caught up into it. You know what I'm saying? And it's good sometimes and it's bad sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes
Because when you look
it's
at some of the big fights, the things that happen, you know, air's been bitten, you know. Oh man, come on now. You know, and that has a lot to do with the hype of the fight.
Yeah.
And if you allow the hype to get too overwhelming for you, you can lose, you know, your focus.
Exactly. Yeah. Gabriel Ruelas said that he doesn't think there's really a problem. That it's more, you know, creating this hype before the fight.
Yeah, and then you can look at it. You can look at some of the most, you know, difficult fighters. You know, like fighters like, you know, that had some serious problems. But look at them now, and you'll be amazed how they have changed. You know, they're not as angry. They're not as, you know, but things have changed in their lives.
Yeah.
And I believe it's because of, you know, the type of people that athletes actually had to open up their understanding and realize that, hey, you know, I don't need to be like this.
Yeah.
Really, I didn't want to be like this, but I was pushed that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was driven that way because of maybe the fans, or maybe because of the, you know, the hype of the fight, and because of the promotion or whatever else. You know?
Do you come from a family of boxers? Or are you the first one in the family?
My dad did some boxing. He didn't get too deep into boxing from my understanding, but that was about it, you know. But I have a very competitive family, you know. The background, horse racing,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Even you know, it's not a one-on-one thing, but basketball, you know, I had brothers that was very athletic in that sense.
Yeah.
And you know, but not boxing. Boxing wasn't something that was too strong in my family.
Yeah, but and today in boxing, there's more and more fathers in the corner. Of
Oh
the
yeah,
champions,
oh yeah.
of the boxers.
It's amazing because I believe a lot of the dads that wanted to, you know, pursue boxing didn't really make it, but they believe, you know, it's still in them, and they're giving it to their sons. And that's why you have so many boxers with their dad in the corner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm doing pretty well. You know, I did pretty well as well, you know.
Yeah.
My sons...
well, you came today with your son. You
because,
walked in here with
one of
your
my
son,
sons...
who is a boxer.
Who is a boxer as well, you know, and did very well, did very well.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I have several sons that box. I have 3 sons that actually made it to the Olympics.
Oh, wow.
Boxing.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, the Olympics is not an easy task. You know, you got to be on your P's and Q's. You got to be on top of your game.
Of course.
You know, and you have to be able to go out there and give your best.
Yeah, yeah. Does a father demand more to his son? Because, you know, that's one of the things, that's one of the concerns of the WBC, that fathers
tend to push their kids to the limit,
beyond, or beyond their limits, and that could be dangerous.
That could be, yes, and that's something that I heard of. That's something that I as well had to deal with. But I realized that you know, if my sons wanted to box, you know, and they told me they wanted to box, I'm going to be there for them. I'm going to be there 100%. If they don't want to box, I'm also going to be there. That's the type of father that I was. But I tell you what, I had a son, Julius, who really didn't want to be involved in boxing. Didn't want to be involved in maybe even sports to a degree. But, you know, when he realized he got older and he started to, you know, I guess his other brothers started to tease him, and, you know, he found himself like, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. He's going to give it a try. And he gave it a try. I tell you what, and he eventually fell into the love of the sport.
Yes, yes.
And became a tremendous athlete. Became a gold medalist. I mean, not a gold medalist, but he made it to the Olympics.
Yeah, that's a great accomplishment.
Yes.
And I bet you are more nervous when they get in the ring than when you got in the ring. Right? You get more nervous. Your kids in there.
Right. But I'll be honest with you. I somehow you know, I don't think I got nervous to the point where I was afraid. I felt that they could have protected themselves. They were able to go in there and you know, do their best because of the work that they put in.
Yes.
You know, they were able to go out there and you know, make it like I did. You know, and I really wasn't too afraid, if I could say that.
Yeah.
I wasn't afraid at all, and up to this day, you know, I have a lot of athletes. I'm still a coach. We have a tremendous, you know, boxing gym, and you know, a lot of the kids, I see them as, you know, being my sons. You know, I try to be a father to them. You know, I take a lot of kids off the street. Boxing has done a lot for me as well as a young man growing up in the Virgin Islands. You know, and I don't want to get off of that, but I tell you what. It's amazing. A sport like boxing, a lot of people think it's a violent sport, but it's a sport that can really have an impact in the lives of young men if you address it right, if you apply it the right way.
It's the best sport to channel
The
energy that are
positive, right?
Instead of
turn things around.
Instead of hitting kids in the street.
In the street.
Go in and hit the
In
bags
the gym.
and hit the.
Like I said, it's like a fishing contest. You know, you throw out that line with the hook, and once they catch it, once they take it, the bait, you got them hooked, and they'll become the best sometimes in the world. They'll go further than they've ever dreamed of going.
And when you watch a fight, is a boxer a good judge? Do you tend to score fights when you watch them on TV?
Yes, definitely. Because I believe I've been in the game, I'm able to see certain things, you know, and tend to, you know, judge, you know, differently from the regular person, I believe, because of what I, you know, have been involved in and what I've seen and what I understand.
Because there's commentators and people that take the scores, but I don't see many boxers, former boxers, doing the scoring in the TV.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're right.
Because I don't know if.
Well, again, I believe you know, if you love the sport, you know, you'll get around the, you know, the people that I think could help you to get involved, you know, in judging and all of that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a coach now, you know, and I'm a cornerman, so you know, I'm involved in boxing. I'm not in it directly, but indirectly. Even though I retired, I never had the opportunity. I never really was driven to come back, even though I at times I was given the opportunity, but you know, I sort of like, you know, said, nah, I'm going to leave it for the younger guys, man.
I know, because, you know, that's one of the things, how much does the hunger of coming back stays with you? Your whole life or just
and I wouldn't mind coming back and doing an exhibition. One time there was a possibility I could have come back with Sugar Ray Leonard. And do I wanted to fight him so bad, but when I was in my prime, but never had the opportunity to because when I knocked out Terry Norris, the winner was supposed to fight Sugar Ray Leonard, but he did not want to fight me. He chose the loser instead. He fought Terry Norris, and Terry Norris ended up beating him. Imagine that! Wow, amazing.
And now, what do you miss about being in the ring? Is there
what do I miss?
That you really miss being in the ring?
I think I, you know, to be honest with you, you know, I miss the cheering, you know, from the fans, you know, the love that you get, you know, especially when you come, you know, to the different sites, you know, the way you're treated. It's just amazing, you know. Coming from a small country like the Virgin Islands, 32 square miles, and people recognize you and you feel like a king. You know what I'm saying? They put you up in the suites. Oh man, you get the best food as a world champion. You know, I miss that, but still, I tell you what, you know what? I enjoy my life today because it prepared me. You know, I know where I came from, and I did not forget where I came from.
Exactly.
And I think because of that, it has kept me balanced. It has kept me balanced.